Do I look stoked yet? Picking up those new sticks right now. What's happening, everybody? Just got my new boards back to the house, and now I'm going to continue trying to set them up. I did actually throw on the fins already and a leash, but I'm going to throw on some track pad on the tail here, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the fins that I picked out and compare them to a similar board that I had made that I've been riding that has a similar but different kind of setup going on. So I got some FCS track top. And so you usually have to be super careful when you pop that on. This particular track top is probably a little smaller than, probably could have went a little wider on this one, but I'm going to go ahead and go with it. I'm going to put that up. You're supposed to line it up. I must tell you that I usually eyeball mine. I'm not very good at setting all that other stuff up with a pencil and whatnot. So we're going to wing it here. That's what I did with this one. We're going to try the same setup here. Don't try this at home. I don't recommend it. Don't blame me if you screw up your board. Okay, so I have the track pad set up on there now. It's stuck down. I did kind of maneuver it a little bit, which is probably not the best bet, but it is on there, looking about as good as I can get it. So the other part about this is the old board. This is the new board. So what I did is I did go kind of similar. In the last board I had the Future Fin Tech Flex. They worked really well, the quad setup. I wanted to go something a little bit bigger this time. These are the Twiggy, Futures Twiggy version of their fins, and this is modeled for Twiggy Baker, big wave rider. Not sure he uses these for big waves, but this set of fins is actually a large set versus the Tech Flex ones I have is a medium-sized set. So I'm hoping for a little more weight, a little more drive and stability, maybe more control in bigger waves. So we'll see what happens. Now that I have two sets, I can mix and match them, which might happen as well. But for now, we're just going to see how this board works with these fins. You can see it's pretty similar board setup, but you can see this older one has a little more rocker in it, and otherwise it's very similar through here. There's a bunch of little channels, and I'd say the channels are actually probably a little deeper and more accentuated in this board, which is awesome. So looking forward to riding this board. And this time, basically have another board, a regular thruster set up on the fins with a traditional pointy style ripstick, and this one is a 5.9, this one's a 5.4, a little thicker up in here. So very similar and yet a little different. So obviously I got the cool color set up here with a little blue splash on top of the green. And on this one as well, I'm going to put a track pad on that one. So on this one, I'm also putting some track pad on the back tail. I pretty much put it on all my boards. This is also FCS. There's a bunch of different brands out there. They all work pretty good. This is a Toledo track pad model, which that combined with my John John fins, which I'll show you in a second. I don't know if I'm going to be able to surf like either one of those guys, but that's the gear I ended up getting while I was down at Surf Supply, which is in Oceanside. super great spot. This is not a sponsored setup here. The guys give me great service and hook up some deals when I buy a bunch of gear sometimes, but for the most part, this is just me letting you know, Surf Supply in Oceanside, great customer service, knowledgeable staff, and that's where I got this gear. So I'm going to go and lay this particular track pad on. It's a 3-piece setup, and what I typically do is I kind of keep them close together like it was one piece for the most part. To me, I think it keeps it all together, and that's just the way I do it. Some people might try something different. Okay, so the track pad's on there. Looks pretty good. I want to go and talk to you about the fin setup, fin choice. These are the new John John fins. They're actually medium sized, but the John John model is, at least per the guys at Surf Supply, are a little bit bigger than a typical medium. So they're not quite a large, or not designated as a large fin, but they are a little beefier. And so I can give you an idea. So I have the rounded nose board with the quad setup, and then now here's the traditional pointy thruster with the John John. So that's the difference there. I'm going to also show you, move this guy out of the way. So this is the other thruster I've been riding, also a 5.9. It also has John John fins, but they're the older versions. So we're going to see old, new. I got different boards here going on, so it's not going to be apples for apples. But yeah, definitely excited to try this new setup. And you can see here, well, same thing here, a little different of a board setup, a little bigger in the nose here. Hoping a little more volume there is going to help me with a little more paddle power on those busier days, and just more of a full board. So hopefully that's going to be a little forgiving, a little more forgiving.